Lesson 98 has a title of Sum of the Angle Measures of Triangles and Quadrilaterals. And our first question says, what is the measure of angle A in triangle ABC? This was my attempt at drawing by hand the triangle symbol. It's just a triangle with a shaded edge on the right-hand diagonal side. So we want to find the measure of angle A. Angle B has a measure of 60 degrees. Angle C has a measure of 70 degrees. The key thing we need to know in this is that triangles will always have the sum of their interior angles equaling 180 degrees. So triangles always equal 180 degrees on the inside. We can put an exclamation point because you need to know that. Make sure that gets into your notes today. So if they always equal 180 degrees, if we know 60 plus 70, 60 plus 70, that must be 6 plus 7, that's 13, so it must be 130 degrees total. If we know everything adds up to 180, we can find our answer by saying 180 minus 130, and that must be 50 degrees. So we'd have our answer for A. A must be equal to 50 degrees. And the way we could write our answer would be to say the measure of angle A equals 50 degrees. We know that because we know triangles always equal 180 degrees on the inside when we find the sum of their angle measures. So we can go ahead and figure out what we need to add to 60 and 70 to get to a total of 180. Let's look at our next problem. Now here we go. What is the measure of angle T in quadrilateral QRST? So we've got Q, R, S, and T. And again, I drew this one out with the pen tool. If we're looking at this, well, what we need to know is that the measures of the angles in a quadrilateral will always equal something. Do you know what that something is? Like a square. If we were to have a square, each angle in a square, and I don't have a tool for this shape, that's why I didn't use it, that's why I drew it by hand. Each angle is 90 degrees. So if each angle is 90 degrees, when we multiply 90 times 4 to figure out what they all add up to, we know 9 times 4, that's 36. We add our 0 on, so we get 360 degrees. So quadrilaterals always add up to 360 degrees. We can put an exclamation point next to that one as well. Quadrilaterals always add up to 360 degrees on the inside. So here we have 80 plus 80. Well, that must be 160. Plus 110. That must be 270 degrees. And now we need to figure out what our last angle T needs to be in order for us to have 360 degrees total. So, well, if we had 360 total, we need to add something. 270 plus angle T is going to equal 360 degrees. We can subtract. We can say 360 minus 270 to find T. Borrow from the 3 to get a 2. We've got 16. 16 minus 7, that's 9. Zeros, so we've got 90 degrees. T, that must be a right angle. T must be 90 degrees. Now in this problem, with my picture that I've drawn by hand, T may not look like it's 90 degrees. But you've got to trust the numbers. You've got to trust the numbers because this key fact, quadrilaterals always add up to 360 degrees on the inside. Lesson practice will be on page 526. Make sure you've got your notes complete, and I'll see you during our next class.